A new alliance of Ethiopian military and political groups says it intends to dismantle the country's government and form a new transitional administration. The Tigray rebel group has joined forces with other opposition factions and is advancing towards the capital, Addis Ababa. It comes amid growing international calls for a ceasefire. Correspondent Tom Joyner filed this report.
Well, it's been a year now of bloody conflict between Ethiopia's military and its allies and fighters from the Tigray People's Liberation Front in the very north of the country, as those TPLF forces have in recent days seized key cities and linked up with another armed group to make their advance towards the country's capital, Addis Ababa. Now, earlier this week, that prompted Ethiopia's government to announce a state of emergency. But just yesterday, 9 anti-government factions formed an alliance to push for a political transition in Ethiopia. Now, we don't yet know what that might look like, but it only adds even more pressure on the government of Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. It's been a year since his government and its allies first launched an offensive against the Tigrayan rebels, and that's now spiralled into a much wider civil war that since last November has killed thousands of people, pushing many into famine according to the UN, and displaced millions of others. There's a lot of concern internationally as well for this escalating civil war. The US has flown into the Ethiopian capital, its special envoy for the region, Jeffrey Feltman, to try and calm things there. A number of other countries, including the US, are asking for an immediate ceasefire between all sides in this conflict.
We call on them to enter negotiations without preconditions towards a sustainable ceasefire. And we again call for all those who are responsible for the human rights abuses and violations to be held accountable.
It's incredible to think just how quickly the situation and the mood of the country has turned so dramatically. It was only a few years ago that the Prime Minister, Abiy Ahmed, was elected, a popular, bright young leader who went on to win the Nobel Peace Prize in 2019. Now, 3 years later, he's presiding over a brutal civil war, and just this week pledging to bury the government's enemies with our blood. Those are his words, a summary in way of the brutality of the conflict so far, as well as perhaps a hint of what's yet to come.